Hey guys, well, I'm just going to make a really quick video for you today. The glow in the dark paper, this really cool stuff. I've done several cards with it, obviously most of them Halloween, but I've done a few Christmas cards too. So that's what I wanted to show you. I'm going to turn the lights off so I can show you this in the dark. I had to wait. I'm in Florida. I had to wait. It's almost 8 o'clock. It's almost dark enough. We are the Sunshine State, and there's lots of windows near my stamp room, so I can never get it dark enough to actually so you can actually see it. So this is the one that that I've made. That's the first Christmas card I made with the glow in the dark. I also made this one. And then of course, here's some of my Halloween ones. So I'm just gonna lay these out so you can see them. And then I'm gonna turn all my lights off so you can see what they look like when it's dark. All right, look at that. Is that not so cool? I mean, obviously this one, very, very cool. They're all cool, but I mean, I just love that that you can use it for Christmas too. I mean, isn't that so cool? And then the lights, I mean, I just thought that was just one of the coolest things, is like shows them lit up like that. Very cool. So, all right, I'm gonna show you how I did on each one, the different inks and techniques I used to get it to look like it does. Okay, so like I said, I'm not gonna show you any of these cards from start to finish. I'm just gonna show you the different ways I did it. This one they're embossed. They were stamped on the glow in the dark paper with Versamark, and then they were embossed with black embossing powder. Okay. This one, all I did was I stamped on this, and I used StazOn for that. And then these two, I stamped on the glow in the dark with regular color, and then I have to clear emboss, and I'm going to show you why. That's the whole point of this, is just to kind of show you the different ways to stamp on the glow in the dark. So let's get started on that. Okay, so what I'm going to first show you here is one of the arms to the cute little skeletons. And the way I did it, I did it not with glow in the dark, but I did it on black paper with Versamark and then white embossing powder, but it's not on the glow in the dark. Just this is on the glow in the dark and some of the bats. But for this one, on the glow in the dark with Versamark and then black embossing powder. I'm going to tell you, the glow in the dark, it has sort of like a texture to it, and it's not completely white, as you'll see. Let's see, do I have, amazingly enough, here's like basic white, and then here's the glow in the dark. Okay, so when you use colors and stuff, they're going to look a little different than they do on obviously basic white. So I'm just going to show you, just doing one little arm of these, not the whole thing. I use my embossing buddy for sure, and because these stamps are so small, I do use this foam pad. And let's see, here we go. Get his cute little arm on here. Okay. And I don't have my black embossing powder over here, but I have silver, so let's just use silver. See, I don't know, it's really hard to see. I can kind of see it a little bit. I don't know if y'all can see it. All right. See, there's his arm. And I will tell you, you can see, even though I use the embossing buddy, this paper likes to grab on to that embossing powder, even where there is no Versamark. It likes to do that. It for some reason it's like that. You can kind of see in like on this one, my Boo to You. You see how it's got it? That's black embossing powder everywhere. But I kind of liked it. I kind of like the way that it looked like that. All right, so I haven't made a silver one before. All right. All right. Okay, so there's There's a silver arm. There we go. Yeah, see? Okay, so, and this is not a glow, well, it is actually. Die cutting on the glow-in-the-dark paper is a little tricky, especially when there's small dies like this one, like the one for this, because, you know, I use Post-it note sticky things, and I use all different kinds of stuff to kind of stick to it, you know, to keep the die in its place. It doesn't really like that. It's hard to put adhesive on this. On the back, it's okay because it's flat, but to put your die on there and then go send it through, I do have magnet pads things for the die cut machine. That worked a little bit. So I just want to say it took me a while for this because I had to, a lot of times, like I stamp all of them and then I put dies on, you know, as many as I can to send it through. I couldn't do that with this because they would shift. So I could only do one at a time and make sure it was still in the right place just as it went through the rollers, you know? So that's one little not so great things about the paper is that it's really hard to die cut it on when you want it to be perfect. Obviously, when I die cut this, it wasn't that bad. But little tiny dies, like their arms, their bodies, their legs, the bats, all that. It's hard to get the paper to not move. You know, or I'm sorry, not the paper, but the die to not move. So that's one tip there, right there. Okay, so there we go. That's how you emboss with embossing powder. So you could use lots of colors that, you know, black, white, silver, gold, copper, you know, all that. So, okay, so, all right, so that's how I did that one. For these two, this is with regular color. So I'm gonna get some of the regular color and show you how to do that. Okay, so using the Merry & Bright, which is really cute. It has, it's very non-traditional type of Christmas colors and things like that. I will tell you, obviously these two Christmas cards, they are the non-traditional colors. They're more whimsy and such. So I did use the glow-in-the-dark paper. As you see, when the glow-in-the-dark paper glows, it's kind of got a greenish tint to it. I mean, that's what glow-in-the-dark is kind of greenish. So I'm just going to show you some of my other, I shared this a while back. I mean, you know, when you're using like the traditional, or here's some that I haven't shared yet, but I don't really want that greenish glow in the dark on those kind of cards. But for something like this, where they're cute and they're whimsy and stuff, it does work. All right, so I'm going to use the embossing buddy again, even though, all right, so here's my ornament. And I'll tell you, when I made this card, I basically stamped all of them. I did all of them, and then I heat embossed all of them at the same time, but I'm not doing all of them. I'm not remaking the card, although I might sometime, but I'm just going to show you how to do true color on the glow in the dark. All right. See, make sure you can see it. Okay, so there's my ornament. And I'm going to keep that open because I'm going to show you. All right, so then what you want to do is you want to put clear embossing powder on it, because this will not, it will smear if you don't have that. I'll show you that in a minute. And again, at least with the clear, if it gets all around, it's not as noticeable. Obviously, if it's not silver or black or, there she goes. Okay. So, and again, if you stamp, this is Melon Mambo. If you stamp that on white, it's going to look different because this has got so almost like a yellowish undertone to it. Okay. So I was going to show you, So that's how you do when you do any colors. I did that with all of these ornaments, stamped them on, this is lemon lime, blueberry bushel, melon mambo, I think. I have it written down somewhere. I think that's the blue. I did one of each kind of light. Have I been saying ornament? It's a light. I don't know. It's been a long day. And then for the trees, this is from the Merriest Trees. I stamped it with lemon lime, and then on the top I did it with Granny Apple Green. So and then these are all the same colors. So lemon lime and Granny Apple Green are these two leaves. Or trees. So you can see it's different. It looks different when it's on the glow in the dark. Okay. But here I'm going to show you if you. Here, I'll just do it. Okay, you see that? That's where I stamped it. See? See, it's on my finger. See, it does not sit well. It doesn't, I mean, maybe you could use your heating tool to help it, but I don't know. I just think it's better, and plus it's cute because it's shiny. But that is a way that might be a way if you heat them, if you put your heat gun on it or you let it sit for a long time. I don't know. I have like this one, I die cut it before I embossed it. So I just was really careful as it went through. That's a lighter color, but yeah, when I did, I think it was when I did this card, I tried to do it with the Memento ink on the white paper and it smeared. So that's how I found out you can't use regular ink on here without kind of, I just think embossing it is the easiest way. All right, and then StazOn. Let me get my StazOn. It's right behind me. Let's do Bonjour. So you can use the StazOn. You do need to let this dry for a few minutes. I learned that it doesn't dry instantly. So you just let that set aside and do it. I just found that, especially with StazOn, you've got to, because like I said, with these things, they are so teeny tiny and you just have to really get it right when you first put it down. And I just kept stamping and they kept getting some parts I didn't push down hard enough on some areas, and so I thought it was just easier to do it Versamark and emboss it with black embossing powder. But you could do it with StazOn. Let's see, is it dry? Yeah, it's dry. So StazOn works, Versamark works, and regular color works with clear embossing powder. So Versamark with embossing powder, regular colors with clear embossing powder, and StazOn. So those are the three things that I have tried with the glow in the dark. Okay, so I just wanted to share that and just show you. It's obviously it took me a little while, especially for these two, because I stamped them all at once and did all that, but I had to die cut them individually. Otherwise, because that paper just does not like adhesive on it. So you have to really figure out a way to get it so that the die doesn't move as you're moving it through your machine. And then once you figure that out, then the way I figured it out, do one at a time. So anyway, so I hope this helps everybody, and you can see some of the options that you have with glow in the dark. It's not just for Halloween. You could do it for Christmas too. If you have any questions, let me know. I have another Halloween card that I haven't shared yet that I'll probably share within the next couple of days. And I'm going to have a quick video on one of the things I did on the card. And then I'll show you the 4 cards. I have the PDF available for Bag of Bones, Them Bones. I have 4 other cards that I'll never share anywhere that you can buy a PDF that has pictures, measurements, all supplies used, and step-by-step instruction. And I'll share those in the video. So if you have any questions, let me know. And I hope everyone's having a great day. See ya.